Coach, what's your expectation for the level of play you're going to get out of the guys who haven't played the first two games and how they'll hit the ground running?
Well, you know, it'll be interesting once the game gets started. You know, they got to knock a little bit of rust off. We got a couple days here of practice first to get some of the rust knocked off. It was really good yesterday to have, if you will, our first unit out there together. Was very, very pleasing to see.
Over on the left side, Mark.
Coach, after a couple of games where the safety situation's been kind of up and down, any ideas about what you may do there this weekend, if it's going to be the same personnel or maybe some other alternative?
We'll stay with the same personnel. We're going to have to make some adjustments, though. We're going to prepare in case we get an injury there. That's the one position I'm a little bit concerned about.
Go seated in the top.
Coach, with the number of freshmen that you've got, it's said that the jump between game one and game two is big. How big a jump are you going to have to make now with game three being in such a big national spotlight?
Well, we're playing a very good football team. You know, obviously the national spotlight's there, but I'm more worried about the people we're getting ready to play. I mean, Alabama is a very, very well-coached football team, and they play extremely hard, and they're really, really good at what they do.
Here in the middle, we'll go to Kirk.
Coach, everybody knows how much experience they lost in the offensive line. And so they got some growing pains there. How do they look different to you in what they try to do?
I don't think it at all. I mean, you know, Coach Saban's going to do what Coach Saban does. They've won a lot of games doing it. Why change? There's not a dramatic drop-off between last year's team and this year's team. I mean, their left tackle is still really good. Their right guard is still really good. You know, they got their feet wet for the first game, and now they've had 2 weeks to kind of prepare and get those things fixed, and you know, we're expecting to get their best.
Go over here on the left side out. Kate.
Hi, Coach. You'll get DeShazier back for a full game for the first time. Can you just talk about his progression? Obviously, he made the game-saving interception last year, and just having this kind of ragged start, you know, what can he bring to the secondary for you?
Well, I mean, a wealth of experience. You know, he's been on the big stage. You know, he's played against the team we're getting ready to play against and performed pretty well. Not great, but pretty well. And it's great to have him back because this core of receivers will be the best we see all year. They're really good, and they're really fast.
Over here on the right side.
I know it's been a while, but can you take us through the call on DeShazier's interception last year?
Yeah, I mean, they ran 3 to the flat on a pick play, and we pushed it and intercepted the football.
I know you practiced that in practice the week before.
No, we practice it every week.
Every week?
Every week, yeah.
Okay. So how pleased were you to see it?
It was great. I mean, like I said, after that game, it was one of the finest coaching moments I've had because you see something you actually work on come to fruition, and in a game like that, it was pretty special.
Go in the middle here to Suzanne.
Hey, Mark, last year, and I'm assuming it's going to happen this year, with the offense playing such up-tempo and getting so far ahead so quickly, did that actually have a negative effect on the defense?
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see instances where, like, you jump out to 20-0 lead and the offense totally changes what they're doing to try to catch up?
Right. Well, yeah, they tempoed us a little bit, and the game did change a little bit. We did get winded a little bit. I think it was in the third quarter. We had to start rolling some people in. But, hey, I'll take 20-0 all day long. Out the gate, we just got to survive it. So,
Go to the front, Brent.
Talked about how nice it was to have Stephen Jenkins back, not just physically, but from a leadership perspective. So I would imagine you would agree with that.
I would absolutely agree with that. You know, Jenks played pretty well in this game last year. Played pretty well last year for us, period. But you know, just to have that confidence out there. I felt it yesterday to have that confidence out there on the field of I don't know if you want to call it a little bit of swag or a little bit of confidence. You just felt it permeating out their pores yesterday. So it was really good, really good.
Go up here in front, Sam.
Can you describe Kevin Sumlin's demeanor, especially on a week like this, and kind of what makes everyone believe in him and partially why you came here?
Who's this? I'm
Sumlin.
sorry. Okay, repeat the question one more time, please.
I just describe his demeanor on a week like this, and also kind of what makes the team believe in him, and I guess why you believed in him, decided to come here.
Well, because I think he's a really good football coach in more ways than one. It's not just the X's and O's. It's the way he handles kids. He tells them the truth. And we do as well. We follow suit. And I think kids appreciate that. And I think that develops a trust with kids. And once you gain trust, they're going to play hard for you. And if they play hard for you, you have a chance in every game. But I think just keeping it the same, we got a game this week. We're going to prepare exactly like we prepare every week, and kind of lead the zoo outside the lines, when we get on the field. And I think he's done a fantastic job with that.
Bottom right corner, Cease.
Coach, only one game to look at, but could you talk about McCarron? Is he better? Where
I've seen enough of him. One game, I've seen about a million games on him, He is a leader. He runs their offense. He knows where his checkdowns are. And obviously, he's a great leader for them because they've won a lot of football games. And, he drives that engine. He's the guy that's driving the car. And you can see his poise and patience, and it's hard to get him rattled. And if you do get him rattled a little bit, he has the ability to go over and sit down and get unrattled and come back out and play his game. That's what I see in him.
Got time for one or two more. We'll go to Suzanne here in the middle.
Mark, I was just looking at the depth chart. Can you talk about what's going on at Sandbacker? Is Jordan going to be the starter for this one?
Yes.
And are you going to get Obioha back?
Yeah. Trainer here? I don't know. We'll find out when we get to practice today, I guess.
We'll get her over here, and then we'll finish on the left side aisle.
Mark, how did you handle the reps for the suspended players in camp? Did they get a lot of?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They still went with the ones to try to get that cohesion going, before the suspensions hit. Then once we got into game week, then we had to start limiting to the reps. So there was a 2-week period there where we got them as many reps as we could, but we had so many young guys that needed the reps we couldn't take, that was going to be playing. We couldn't take reps away from them to give to the guys that were not playing, if that makes sense. But yeah, during camp, fall camp, we went, it was that first group all worked together, knowing that this day would come at some point in time.
Left side aisle here.
Coach, I got questions about three of the freshmen that have looked pretty good the last couple of weeks: Claiborne, Golden, and Arnold.
And who? And Jay?
Yeah, and Jay, yeah. Any idea how those guys may be used in terms of rotating this weekend?
Yeah, we're going to have a plan. It depends on how the game goes. I can't sit here and answer that right now. We got to kind of figure out how this game goes.
We'll finish up with Brent here in the front.
Two-parter. So what is it you see in Jordan to give you that kind of faith at this point?
Well, I mean, he's our best viable option right now. He's a big, strong kid. He's a smart kid. We're going to be playing against a very big tight end, a couple big tight ends. So we feel like he gives us the best chance.
And I don't know if the word is fun, but how much fun or however you would describe it, to see what Nate Askew did.
Yeah, it was good. I was happy for Nate. Give him a little bit of success, and anytime you have success, you build a little bit of confidence. So I was happy for him.